Lakers fell behind 30-6 early against the Raptors last night. Never had a shot the rest of the way. They lose 114-103. This is the second straight slow start for LA. Don't forget they trailed Phoenix Sunday by 26 points after the first quarter in that defeat. The Lakers still are the 9th seed in the West, but just barely. They only have a 2.5 game cushion over that 11th seeded Portland to stay in the play-in tournament. Going to get interesting here at the end. Shannon, after what you've seen the past 2 nights, where do you think the Lakers finish in the West?
Well, not just the last 2 nights, basically the last 25 games. I think they're going to miss the playoffs. There's no reason for optimism. Now I just turn into the game to see how many points LeBron's going to score. They don't play any defense. They turn the ball over. Guys are getting shoot-around threes. I'm talking about wide open. Guys are going off the dribble. And I get that small lineup, Skip, but they got crushed on the glass. They got beat by 21. And when you play a small lineup, you can't worry about leaking out. You can't worry about getting fast break points. You got to have everybody coming to try to get on the glass. They got out rebounded 64-43. 64-43, Skip. Come on. You're not beating anybody giving up that kind of – and guys shooting 9 of 17, 9 of 17. I mean, and so even though when you look at it, Skip, you look at Toronto, they were 10 of 37. In the first quarter when they really blew the game open, they were like at one point like 5 of 9. And the Lakers would just turnover after turnover. They get in layup after layup. All of a sudden, LeBron missing little bunny layups. Russ, we already know he gonna miss layups. Monk missing layups. Skip, they're not winning. I look at the schedule. I had Steve to get the schedule, the graphic. Let's look at the schedule, Skip. Look at their remaining schedule. They're going to be favored one time. Look at the schedule. At Minnesota, we're going to talk about Cat, just dropped 60 and 17. Toronto just beat the brakes off of them.
Yep.
Washington, Cleveland, Philly, New Orleans, Dallas, Utah. Look at that schedule. They'll be favored in one game. OKC at home. Mm-hmm. How do they hold on, Skip? How do they hold on? Because right now, their game in front of the Pelicans, and the one game in front of the Pelicans, the 2.5 games in front of the Blazers, the 3.5 games in front of the Spurs. With that schedule on the horizon. And a couple of those are back-to-back. We saw what they looked like Sunday, and then they followed that up with Monday with an even worse performance. Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse. If LeBron doesn't score 50, they don't win. And LeBron, you look at LeBron's stat line, yeah, he had 30 and 9, but LeBron didn't play well last night. I'm here to tell you LeBron did not play well last night. 5 turnovers. If you're going to keep this game from getting out of hand, he might need to have a Cat stat line. Like Cat got 32 in the third, LeBron needed 32 at the half to offset what was going on with the Raptors. And so when you look at it, a team that turns the ball over like they do. So now you're taking possessions away where I'm not even getting a shot up at the basket. A team that plays defense as poorly as they do, where teams are getting layups. This is a layup line for teams. Or they're getting shoot-around threes. How do you win? You're not going to win. And Skip, and I said this, play in, they better just hope they can, I don't see it. I honestly, Skip, I'm looking at this, Skip. I just don't see it. When you look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of the 12 games are on the road. They got the second toughest remaining schedule outside of Chicago.
Yeah.
Skip, honestly, I don't see it. I just don't see it. They're on the road for the next week. They come home for one game with Philly, then they're back on the road with New Orleans and Dallas and Utah.
Okay. The playoffs.
Correct.
So you have to go on the road and then go on the road again against different teams, right?
Yes.
Okay. To your point, New Orleans plays a middling tough schedule.
Right.
It's the 14th toughest. So they're somewhere in the middle in degree of difficulty, but you've got a stay of execution for a little while because Brandon Ingram has a hamstring issue and is out like 7 to 10 more days.
Right.
But you play New Orleans head-to-head twice there first and then back home. It's March 27th and April 1st.
Do you remember what the Pelicans did to them at the crib?
It was by 28.
Okay.
Then Portland, 2.5 games back. You got another stay of execution. You got another break because Anthony Simons, before the break, was becoming a star.
Yes.
He was breaking out.
I think that's what made CJ expendable.
Okay, and he's got a knee issue that's supposed to keep him out another week or so. So, again, you got breaks because the best player on the two teams chasing is going to be out for a little while longer, okay? All right, now back to LeBron last night. This was very troubling to me because he is such a great player. And now, to me, he is completely unplugged when it comes to trying to win games. To me, it's all about scoring. I still believe he can win the scoring title this year. I think it would be feather in goat cap, quote unquote, because you could say, oh, I won the scoring title at age 37 in year 19.
Right.
So that's his focus right now. And obviously he is still focused on passing Karl Malone first, which is going to happen. He's 70 points away from Karl.
Right.
And then Kareem next year.
Right.
So those are his goals. Those are his focus. Those are his priorities right now. Yet if you step back from this, his Lakers have lost 15 of their last 20. That's hard to fathom when you have LeBron freaking James on your team. Obviously, we could argue somewhere in the top, whatever your taste is for it. But he's an all-time great player who, since the All-Star break, they're 2-7. And would you believe in those 9 games, he leads the NBA in turnovers? So he's gone Russell Westbrook since the All-Star break, turning the basketball over, leading the league in that. In that period, he's taken the 3rd most shots in the league because now he's just saying it's all or nothing, me scoring. And if he has a huge night, if he gets 50-something or whatever,
they have a chance.
They have a chance on a big stage game, maybe against Golden State. If Golden State doesn't make its shots, you got a chance, and then obviously against the Wizards. Okay, so now you look at what's going on over the last 9 games since the break. He's only averaging 5 assists a game. Last night he had only 3 assists, right? Because the total focus is he's gone complete sideshow. I'm just going to try to score points. His IQ is still by far the highest in basketball. So what did we see the last 2 nights? Oh, and by the way, remember, just 2 years ago, he led the league in assists at 10.2. So now he's averaging 5 since the break, 3 last night. What happened in back-to-back games? They lost the first quarter at Phoenix 48-22. They lost the first quarter last night 33-12. Well, the truth is, for LeBron's ability to score 30-plus points, it actually benefits him to fall that far behind in the first quarter because then he could just say, all bets are off. I'm not going to share the basketball at all. My priority will be to score. Well, what did he do last night and what was actually garbage time? I know they made it a semblance of a game. THT had a corner 3 with 1:30 left that could have cut it to 6. I don't know. It's a long shot.
It's just one of those things, Skip, because they have a corner 3. Melo could cut it to 11. Now, all of a sudden, they get the ball, go down, they hit a 3, they back up to 17.
That's it. But what did LeBron James do in the fourth quarter last night? Well, he was really good. He made 5 out of 6 shots. He scored 14 of his 30 points in the fourth quarter. Well, that's how you get to 30. Was that not garbage time? Because your biggest deficit of the game came late in the third quarter. You were down 28. So it was straight garbage time from that moment forward. And LeBron said, thank you very much. I will take advantage of this.
I think the thing is, Skip, is that, look, if you look at him early in the first quarter, Skip, he's passing it. Austin Reeves had some good look.
And missed all 3 of them. They missed, what were they, 1 for 25?
Yeah, because at one point in time, Skip, they missed their first 16 or something like that. Well, Skip, if you miss your first 16 and the other team hits 5 or 9, 5 or 10, you're probably going to find yourself down by a bunch. Considering when you turn the ball over like they do.
And Scotty Barnes, straight out of Florida State, he goes for 15 in the first quarter. You're going to lose.
Yeah, Skip, he was 6 or 6.
Right. If you keep that pace up, you're going cat. You're going to have 60, right?
You're exactly right. And so that's the problem, Skip. I think the thing is he still would like to, I still believe scoring is the second best thing that he does. I still believe facilitating. But, Skip, we didn't talk about Russ. Russ is shooting 8.8% from 3 since the All-Star break. And somehow the ball keeps rotating and finding its way in his hand at the three-point line.
Last night he didn't try many. Didn't he only take 1?
I think he took 1. Yeah, he took 1.
Took 1. Okay.
But he was 4-10.
Okay.
Malik, I mean, he struggled.
And by the way, Russ, since the break, is 2 of 23 from 3. Go ahead.
Austin Reeves was 1 of 7. Malik Monk was 3 of 8. Russ was 4 of 10. I mean, 1 of 3, 1 of 8, 3 of 10. Horton Tucker played okay. He was 8 of 13. Turnover, he going to turn the ball over. That does that. But, I mean, I just don't know. When you look at these shooting percentage, they shot 39% from the floor. Ain't no whole lot of sense out there, Skip, when we shooting 39% from the floor, 31 from
That's
three.
with LeBron going 11 of 19.
Yes. So if he don't go 11 of 19, Skip, they might be in the 20s.